Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Sly 3.
It's extras time.
Hi, Jinx. So I'm just going to be doing the Master Thief challenges here for each level while we discuss the game, pretty much.
Okay.
Alright.
So let's actually start with overall thoughts about the game.
I mean, overall, they've all been pretty good overall. I don't feel like anything about this one really detracted from it in any way. Like, from the franchise as a whole.
I agree, though I do feel like it might have been better if they didn't start out with like end information at the very beginning.
I mean, I can see why they would have done that. It's not like it's it's not like it's an unpopular thing to do.
Scratch one blue bite.
As long as you execute it correctly, which I feel like they did a pretty decent leeway into it.
They definitely did a good job with it, but I just feel like it wasn't necessary to do that for this.
I mean, not necessarily, no, but even then, in that sense, how else would you have segued into this whole thing?
Press the L1 button to go into ball form. Hit the X button on impact.
It's hard to think of, yeah?
Well,
I projected
first thing that
some
comes to
markers
mind is
help you find
Sly
the
and
tar
Bentley doing
drones.
a small mission, just trying to see that McSweeney, whatever his name was.
Again, I stand by what I said at the beginning when we started. This is the only real problem I had with this game from the get-go.
This is great, Murray. Those tar drums are
Was the
an
fact that it
integral
starts
part of
at the end.
Octavio's scheme. With them out of the picture, you're
And that's
that
a
much
very
closer to
minor
seeing the
nitpick for
black
me.
Water run clear. I promise.
Yeah, I mean, it is a good game overall. It improved on the last two,
Bouncing, chum.
in the sense that not only did we get more, Bentley and Murray, but we also got the opportunity to play as others as well.
Yeah, which was good.
You're
I
really
did like the
getting hang
fact
of
that we could
Hank
play as
Dye.
the Panda
That
King. That
tar
was
drum
interesting.
didn't know what hit it. In a peaceful sense, of course.
I mean, yeah, honestly, out of all the villains they could have brought back to have team up with Sly,
Keep this up, and the environmentalists
Panda King
will
was
send a
definitely
thank
an
you
interesting
card.
choice, but he did also kind of make the most sense, at least in comparison to the others.
True.
Because it definitely was not going to be, Rayleigh. It was not going to be Rayleigh, in any sense of the word. There's no conceivable scenario I could think of that would put Rayleigh on Sly's side. Madame Ruby doesn't really fit the bill either.
No, she doesn't.
And then Mugshot, I feel like they used Mugshot very well. So really, Panda King was the only, worthwhile option that they had.
True.
At least if we're just focusing on villains from the first game.
Alright, well, since we're on the topic, how did you feel about the other playable characters?
I did find the Guru's mechanic interesting.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty interesting, kind of funny. The way the bodies kind of looked like they were distorting because of the control.
I mean, terrifying to think about, just having somebody come up and possess you because they touched your head, but...
Sly!
Ready to watch, terrifying to consider.
Shotgun.
No, it was very funny to watch. And
Activate.
Let go of me, you geriatric fiend!
Stand up and hold still.
sorry, I lost my train of thought.
There, we've all been there.
I swear I'll get you for this.
You won't get in nothing but a grave, pal.
Alright, what about Penelope?
It was interesting how they brought Penelope in
Slide.
because,
Hurry it up.
Pipe it down, lunch meat.
as intelligent as he is, it did require Bentley admitting twice that there were other people who were better at his specialties than he was. Because he had to admit it with Penelope for the RC skills, and then he had to admit it with Panda King for demolitions. The hook grab with Penelope, it was interesting, it was unique, it was also kind of odd.
Yep.
Mostly just in the sense of, you know, the yoinking itself, but I did enjoy the mini game that she had with Lafouille.
Looks tough. Might take some more bombs.
Yeah, that looks
We've got company. Just stay on those tar pipes. This could get hairy.
I mean, was it simple? Yes, but you know what? Sometimes simple is way better.
The little vase car pod
This is
too,
getting serious.
the mini
Better
car
hurry
pod
up
was
with those
pretty
pipes.
interesting as well sometimes. Like when she had to use it to try to stop explosive. I don't know if we had she had a vase. You got a vase in a bunch?
Yes. Or are you talking about the radio towers?
No, this was back when we were still recruiting the Panda King, I think.
Oh, right, the powder keg trail for Murray.
Yeah.
It was nice to get a different variety of RC levels
Looks tough. Might take some more
because,
bombs.
you know, it used to only be Bentley's RC chopper.
We've got company. Just stay on those tar pipes. This could get hairy.
So she added a good bit of mini diversity and
She did, and they really did expand on the gadgets nicely
This
too,
is
like
getting
Bentley's
serious.
grapple
Better hurry it
cam.
up with those pipes.
everyone's abilities were definitely improved. Like Murray had the ability to actually, slow down or stop time for an instant.
He had a slowdown ability, I believe.
Just one pipe left.
Why did you fail this? What was the goal here?
I have to destroy all 6 tar pipes within a time limit.
I see.
And I ran out of time right before my bomb went off, destroying the last one. Like, now I have to beat Octavio in the boat chase under a time limit. So, I know we only had the 2 missions as Panda King, but, how'd you feel about him?
I thought it was interesting.
I mean, he did translate interestingly. I do feel that he did suffer from a very, very common trope, though,
Of,
which is the boss character becoming a bit weaker when you obtain them. However, I can't say that fully because there was a trade-off. So Panda King's physical abilities and his attacks, yes, those are definitely weaker than when you had to fight him. However, the trade-off was the fireworks cannon. The fireworks cannon was really useful, especially against several enemies.
Nobody else seems as tough.
That was definitely useful.
Not nobody.
So I can't say that he fully suffered from that trope, because it was still worthwhile. It was still a decent, good change, actually.
and then brings us to the final
He's
character
too
of
fast.
Dimitri.
Lure him into the tar pool. That should slow him down.
Now, it is always interesting when they do the whole, enemies now your ally deal. With Dimitri, it did feel a lot more natural, I suppose, because it was a very slow burn trust. Like he didn't fully trust you, period, until you helped him reclaim his grandfather's diving gear. Which, from what we see of Dimitri, yeah, it fits in with his character well. Because he tried to be a good person for a good number of years, presumably due to his grandfather's influence. Got driven to crime. And yes, while he was, screwing people over with spice, he did still have a bit of a right to blame Sly for the predicament he ended up being in. However, I don't know why the hell he got himself caught twice.
I don't even know how he got himself caught a second time.
No, we have no idea how he got himself caught a second time. But the amount of convincing that it took just to get him to go along with the initial escape plan, that did feel very in line for Dimitri. And then, the more you interact with him, the more you can see him starting to trust you a little bit. And then just sealing the deal with actually reclaiming the gear, it did feel a lot more natural than the Panda King's split personality in the mirror conversation. Although that was still entertaining.
All set with the tar.
Because I'm not saying that I can't see that either. Because that was still very in character for the Panda King. But Dimitri's build-up felt more natural.
This tar valve's dry.
Yeah, the
All
story
over to
did
another.
progress
Hang tight.
their change in relationship quite nicely, I'd say. From the very beginning of Sly 3 to all the way to the end, you could see the changes that were going on for Dimitri.
Also, can we just talk about how they took Octavio's most annoying fucking attack and then gave it to a bunch of minions in the end phase?
Oh my god, that was so
game.
annoying! I kept wanting to say, watch out for Octavio's... What's the word for it? Yeah,
You can
not
call
just
it
yellow.
Yowling,
Copycat.
that's
They were dang copycats.
You have the pirate disguise equipped.
Yes, I do. I have that on for a reason. It's not important anymore. Centered on a trap to a watery grave below the large clock's face starts the path for the brave.
You need to face the large clock. Wherever the hell that is. But, yeah, no, as we discovered several times with even just Octavio, if you happen to be right in front of them when that attack goes off, you're kind of screwed for a good chunk of damage.
Yeah, you really are.
So then suddenly having a bunch of minions surrounding you who all have the same ability, and you've got like 3 of them winding it up at the same time.
If you're really unlucky, you'll get hit by one and the others will hit you right afterwards, so like an infinite freeze moment.
It did not feel very fair.
Well, technically, you only get hit by the first one, and then they give you invincibility frames to get away.
I just mean the sheer number of them doing it didn't feel fair because, again, even if you miss one, there were like 2 more coming at you. The alleyway that leads to a point.
No.
No, you took 15 paces.
I counted 14.
So it keeps the correct. So whenever you get it correct, it keeps it on there.
Yeah.
I think that's 14 right there. Like the pull of the moon.
Fuck.
Right there. Straight up. The eternal struggle of man versus... Oh, is that the Fountain Earth? Is that what that statue is?
Yeah, it's like a man and a horse fighting a lion. And I got a trophy called Let's Get Some Spaghetti.
Oh. Is that what it took us to? It took us to a restaurant?
Fucking hope so. I want to taste that fucking sauce.
Oh no, that was that dude's mom.
Oh, yes.
That brings up a question. I had it after we stopped that video, and I never had opportunity. He refers to it as mama, but I know that refers to either like your wife or your actual mother in certain cultures. Which one do you think he was talking about?
Honestly, it could have just been his legitimate mother.
It could have been.
Given how prominent, mothers and grandmothers are in Italian stereotypes. I was gonna say Italian culture, but I don't want to be wrong about that.
Fuck.
Listen here, dickwit. Oh, is it just get to the guru in a time limit?
No.
Pepper's going crazy, so didn't actually see what the goal here was.
The goal was I have to complete the entire rock climbing course within a time limit.
This place is packed
Oh,
with
goody.
blowhooks. The miners must use them to haul up their drills. Looks like you're going to get some rock climbing practice.
But regardless if it was his wife or his mother, the fact remains that he wants to bathe in sauce.
No, he wants to be buried in, not bathed in it. Fucking dingo!
Same deal, really. You have to be buried in order to
Miners
bathe,
have
after
no
all.
respect for the Aboriginal sacred sites. They're drilling into everything. Ayers Rock, Kings Canyon, Wave Rock. The cultural insensitivity is sickening.
Boot. Would have done better, but I got fucked over by 2 separate guards.
That's okay. I wasn't expecting the kangaroo to get you twice.
Alright, and that brings us to Dimitri.
Dimitri again?
I don't remember talking about Dimitri as a playable character and his levels.
Oh. No, we talked about Dimitri as a character.
Yes.
Now, the scuba bit. That was interesting. That was an interesting take. I feel like they maybe could have done the actual, like aiming with the spear gun a little bit better. But overall, it was it was refreshing, in my opinion. It was refreshing to have not only a third-person mission, but for it to be an underwater search kind of deal.
I can see why these miners are so driven.
As I've said, Looks very matured.
So, as someone who's played the game several times over, which mission is your favorite to do? Not like the entire chapter. Just like your top three. Your top three missions, any character, doesn't matter.
Actually, I have a very soft spot for the lemonade bar mission.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
Alright, so that's one. What about your other two?
Making things difficult for me. And die. Let's see. I also have a soft spot for the actual operation against Lefouille.
Okay, so the final one.
Yep.
Okay, okay. Because I know you did say that you actually genuinely, unironically like Lefouille.
I do like Lefouille. He is probably my favorite villain of this game.
Alright, that leaves you with one.
Let's see, and I do like the canal chase as well from the first one.
Oh, the one that you started this out with? Or
Yes.
the Octavio chase?
Both.
Okay.
So if I had to single one out, I would say against the Blue Vipers. So because I have to deal with the rest of Octavio's stuff first. Before I
Fair,
actually
that's
get to the
fair.
canal chase. And let's move on to the bosses.
Okay.
Starting with Octavio.
Interesting character-wise. Definitely interesting character-wise. Not only in the sense of just the fact that he wasn't always a villain, but he was just a pretentious, bitter old man.
Term mob boss.
See, and he couldn't have started out as a mob boss either, because again, he had no background in anything criminal.
Nope, canonically he became a mob boss after some fans of his, which were part of the mob, brought him into it.
And it wasn't until, you know, like further exposure that he started to get, like, you know, bad.
That supposedly, we don't know exactly how long it took and all that.
Well, again, from the start, he was a pretentious individual. And then he went from pretentious to bitter. And you know what bitterness can do to a person.
Absolutely.
Because in his mind, arrogant as he was, he probably saw people's music taste changing as a personal betrayal. Because, you know, how dare you like something else? He is an artiste.
Shit.
You want to know who he actually kind of unironically reminds me of?
Who's that?
And this is going to be a hear me out moment here. And I know you're going to know who I'm talking about. I don't know if Mason's going to know who I'm talking about. But it makes sense if you think about it. Alameda Slim.
Ooh.
name doesn't sound particularly familiar.
It does not. That doesn't surprise me. So, Alameda Slim is the villain from the Disney movie Home on the Range, which is a movie about cows. But Slim himself, what his deal is, he's a cattle rustler. But the way he steals cattle is by hypnotizing them with music. And by music, I mean yodeling. There's an entire musical number that goes into how, for some goddamn reason, his yodeling has a psychedelic effect on cattle. Now the reasons why I'm calling them similar is because they're both technically performers. Both conniving. Both maintained a criminal enterprise that police really weren't able to do anything about. Not through the same means, of course, but through fairly similar means. Slim paid off every bounty hunter that was hired to go after him, but maintained a persona where he was never seen doing anything illegal. Which Octavio did the exact same thing, except Octavio was always just Octavio. He was behind everything, but he always made sure that there was no evidence linking him to it. So they both huge fans of music that get greatly offended when you belittle their choice of music. Surprisingly intelligent, given their backgrounds, and over-the-top, cartoonishly ruthless.
Sounds about it.
Sly, you okay?
Right as rain, pal.
A fine blow!
Yeah, but I understand that that's a weird comparison, but it makes sense to me.
No, I can see it.
Honestly, kind of surprised myself with it too when it crossed into my mind, because firstly, I don't even remember the last time I fucking thought about Alameda Slim.
It would have been when you compared him as Mason's antithesis.
Yeah, and how long ago was that?
About a year
Just
ago.
keep coming. You
Yeah.
warming up, Murray?
Been a hot minute.
Feeling strong. Behold my powers of destruction.
Well done! Well struck, Murray!
Mason, your thoughts on Octavio?
Nice work, big guy.
Let's see. Justin did describe him pretty well. I do still find it funny that in the end he got exactly what he wanted by going to jail. An audience that can't leave.
It wasn't even that they just couldn't leave. They were all actually legitimate fans of his.
Yeah, they're just all happen to be
Yeah.
mafiosos in jail.
Which is why people didn't go to his performances as much. Carmelita was too good at her fucking job.
Yeah, exactly. So if he wasn't so good, he might not have turned as evil. The irony is that. He was also one of the first ones to consider the idea that instead of just going after Slayer, I should just kidnap the brains of the operation.
I mean, true.
Remember, Murray, you can use the
Not
circles
many
to
had that
stop
idea at
and
the
pick
time.
up knocked out enemies.
Although after that, it
Or if
became
you
a commonplace to
juggle
grab
them with the
someone.
triangle button, then grab them out of the
Well,
air
let's
with the
face it.
circle button.
Nobody was the only time anybody's ever taken Murray has been through underhanded means.
It's not true. Carmelita did it fair and square. And then give him a bag of
Carmelita
jelly
has a
beans.
weapon that can.
But I don't know if we can count those fucking shock pistols as fair and square,
Remember,
man.
to pick up a guard,
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Those shock pistols can literally destroy a building.
with a triangle button. Then press the
Definitely
circle
puts
button
her
to
above the others that have taken somebody, you know, by making sure he stayed fed and relatively comfortable. Even if she did flat out say, your comfort level will go down when I put the other two in here, but then you get a nice roomy jail cell.
She was very honest. Not very
Up
much the
until-
opposite of the Contessa.
Actually, I can't even say up until the end. Carmelita, the one thing Carmelita's like never been honest about was her feelings.
Too, and then in the end, she finally admitted to it. Mostly
No, she
because
didn't. No. In the end, she still just did nothing but lie because, yeah, Sly pretended to have amnesia. But her response to that was, "You're my partner. You've always been. Welcome back aboard."
Remember, Murray, to pick up a guard, press the square button and
Couldn't
knock
even
them out,
couldn't
or
even
punch
you know
them
say
in the air
anything
with a
along the
triangle
lines
button.
of
Then press the circle button to
romantic
grab them.
interest. Just
Nice.
kept it straight up at
Taste for both
professional
kinds of guards.
partners.
4 kangaroos and 4 dingoes should do it.
Now, I guess she did eventually become honest somewhere along the line, given that Bentley finds her having a lovely evening with Sly out on a lovely moonlit balcony.
True. That's why I said that she eventually has to confess it, because they had that evening.
True, but we never got to see it. And also, how long was that after the fact? Because it was long enough for Bentley and Penelope to build a whole ass new vault.
That's right. Miners are food. You like eating miners.
The people in that world move fast. It could have just been a month.
Yummy.
A vault, probably with the security that it seemed like they put into it, the vault would have been more complicated than something like the biplane. And the biplane took them what, a good few weeks to build?
Roughly.
Yes, but wasn't he also working on that alone? He had
No,
No,
he had
Murray-
no, he had Murray
Murray
helping
was
him
with
with
him.
that.
Murray helped them build the biplane.
Yeah, but he was working on the engineering aspect of it. He had help with someone putting the parts together.
Mason, it's not hard to come up with blueprints for a biplane.
Again, the biggest difference with the vault was the fact that you don't get to see the entirety of the inside of it, but even just if you look at the door, Bentley clearly put a lot of security measures in place, because not only was the cane still the key,
Great work, Sly. One hook to go in
but
the
it was also
back.
just covered in lasers. And knowing Bentley, seeing as how what he did was he put his, Murray's, and Sly's motifs all on the door. Which honestly, I forgot to mention it when we were looking at it, but personally I think that was a very nice, heartfelt touch. Because basically what he did was he made a new family vault. You know, considering his briefly complicated feelings, it was a very touching thing for him to do.
Yeah, it was.
Because it does goes to show that even with that moment of doubt, it shows you where Bentley's feelings have always been, which is that they have always been a family. Get towards freedom. Lemonade.
So, the next boss, the Mask of Dark Earth.
I forgot that we count that guy.
I know, it's not... I don't really consider it much of a boss. I mean, yes,
It
you
was
have to
more
fight
of
it a
a-
couple of times.
It was more of a recurring. And it did make whoever it was possessing harder to deal with.
Honestly, I feel like it was just an excuse to make Carmelita big.
In the end, yeah, kinda. Yeah, okay, good. But, now I do find it entertaining whenever they try to combine magic and pseudoscience. Like, the reason why she grew so huge was because the evil magic of the mask fused with the chemicals in Bentley's tranks.
So fucking stupid.
It was.
But it's entertaining, just like when Bentley built a bad mojo bomb.
It is, it really is.
Like, they always explain it in a way that makes sense in universe, despite how stupid it still remains.
Like, if you use cartoon logic, it makes perfect sense.
Competition starts tomorrow. Where are all my guards? Sleep? Watching TV?
Any other logic, it doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah, no. So, while the end result, yes, was probably all just building towards making giant Carmelita, it was kind of interesting to see the mask keep trying, because I don't think it ever possessed the same type of enemy twice.
I tell you, Christoph, the Aces pilots get better and better. We've got some real competition on our hands this year. Oh, I'm not saying it's too much for Team Black
It
America,
didn't
though.
actually. It possessed one type of guard.
Pilots are in-
Each time it possessed a guard, it was a unique guard.
Yeah, so I do have an appreciation for that. Because while the mask itself was repetitive, it was at least a different fight every time.
Murray, you can't hurt Mugshot with your fists. Try using the switch in the middle of the hangar.
Which, you know, honestly, that part there didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Because Sly could hurt him.
all day, lightweight.
Sly can't hurt him, actually.
Oh, did we just use like? Oh, that's right. We just used lasers, didn't we?
Yeah, we used lasers to, like,
Yeah.
destroy his gun so he couldn't hurt him and burn him.
Again, you'd think he would feel something.
Yeah, clearly he's feeling something. He's laughing at it.
Keep it coming. I'm a brick wall.
Not what
I
I
can
meant.
take it all day, lightweight.
No, I think he only feels emotional damage. That's why you don't bring up his mother.
So, moving on to Black Baron and Mugshot. Since Mugshot
Now-
came back for this, and he is a boss, technically.
Take it all
I was
day,
gonna say now, like I said, I do like what they did with Mugshot to bring him back.
coming. I'm a
It
brick
still feels very in character for him. It makes sense that he still, you know, obviously bears his grudge against Sly and the others.
King Pop. These doors ain't holding themselves
Also that he
open.
doesn't remember all of the details of everything besides the quote-unquote important bits, but it also still weirdly makes sense that beyond this here, the only reason why he doesn't cause anything else until Bentley insults his mother is that he genuinely does not want to be dismissed from the Aces competition.
Now! I can take it all day.
Because it
right
seems
way.
like they gave him an actual passion besides mafia films.
That's smart!
Because originally that was his defining thing. He was a weak kid who saw some mafia films, decided to model his life after them, and now he's a fucking brute.
Yeah.
Who can take many shock pistol shots.
Quite a few.
He's a tough fucker.
Now this part was interesting and yet also tedious.
Yeah, there's no way I would have passed this. I would have passed this my first try. I would have definitely had to click 2 or 3 times if I tried.
We're halfway there, Murray. Stay sharp.
It's always nice when you get a twofer like that too.
Give fun specials are an enjoyable time.
It's the final push. Keep that place safe.
Doing our best here.
Just a few bogeys left.
Also, you do gotta kind of give it to Penelope. Not necessarily just in the sense that she's willing to, you know, become a career thief, but the fact that she technically has always had a sense of ruthlessness that's very close to Octavio's. Because she does casually say, good riddance to anybody that would go against the Black Baron's orders. And in this mission here, she makes a lot of comments about how they deserve it because they're acting against the Baron.
Hey, pal. Nice to see ya.
So she likely knows all of these people because they work for her, and yet her response to them taking a bribe for mugshot is
Hope you're
basically
not afraid of
murder.
heights.
Casual, borderline gleeful murder, I might add. Because technically you can't just talk about the Baron without also talking about Penelope.
Wow,
Yeah.
that looks dangerous.
Because she's known the entire time that you're trying to win the competition, she called you here.
Also,
she both helps and hinders you, especially at the end, with her insisting that being on
Mind the gap.
the other blimp or plane constitutes not having lost, and then sticks a bunch of her minions on you while also trying to fight you.
Upsy daisy.
And now, I know you've mentioned it before, Cody. I know you've said you do not like what the fourth game does to Penelope as a character.
I do not.
What's up, high flyer?
Now,
I'm
I
not
will
even
say
sure
I
if we'll
don't
even have a
remember the
chance to
reasons
play that game.
why.
Opa.
I will say I don't remember the reasons why, but I do very distinctly remember you saying you do not in the slightest like what they did to her.
No, in all luck, they'll have made him more damsel in distress.
Going up.
No, I don't believe that's what they did. What was it? Did they make her like super petty?
No. Although I guess you could call it that too.
Eyes to the skies, peeps! The semi-final round between Team Iceland, Team Cooper, and Team Belgium is now underway. The flags are out. Dogfight action, reaction. Nice, go back!
The Neutrino's color commentary.
Yep.
So based on you not wanting to elaborate, I'm assuming that does mean you still want to play the fourth game before.
As much as I don't like the fourth game, yes, I still want to play it.
Okay. Figured as much when you started dodging questions.
Another falling star.
Thank you, Dimitri, for just commentating on all this.
I mean, he doesn't. He is here for color commentary, not, you know, analysis. Now, I realize, in a sense, they're all extremely similar. However, there were minor differences for the majority of them. Who was your least favorite horde enemies to deal with?
Horde enemies?
Horde enemies. So you've got Octavio's Mafia, you've got the Miners, you've got the Black Baron's staff, you've got Dr. M's creatures, and you've got LaFouille's pirates. Now, clearly, I mean, obviously, you've got the standards of like your smaller, quicker ones, your stock and barrel, and then your flashlight guards. But there were still differences between each group.
There's also General Sal's army too.
Oh, yep, I somehow forgot General Sal. But
I forgot he made an excellent chicken dinner.
which one of those groups did you enjoy dealing with the least?
Dealing with the least? Believe it or not, it's actually LaFouille's pirates.
Really?
Yes, specifically because his standard dog guards with the two swords
Yeah.
have a block maneuver that they can just use indefinitely.
Oh yeah, that was up.
So you can literally just wail on them for all eternity and get nowhere.
precise.
Because I know I had a bit of frustration with the kangaroos.
If you go, red guy.
Mostly just because it didn't really seem to matter what you did if you didn't take them out like right away. They would always seem to just have the ability to knock you flat.
See, that's for me. And since I wasn't playing, I did not find any of them too annoying. I guess if I could choose one though. I think I would have gotten more annoyed with Lafreeze as well, just because of how much I probably have to fight them. Especially if I kept running into the ships by accident.
Nice. Got back.
Another one?
Good news. Aces tickets for next year already on sale. Buy now and save 10% on cost.
Hell yeah, Dimitri! That's how you do it.
Beautiful. Well, not that part. Not the part where Sly's neck is on fire.
See, if I'm not quickly, after the Red Baron was the
There
fried
he is.
chicken, right?
Yes, that would General Tsao would be next.
Yep.
We're taking heat.
Yeah. Honestly, with him, I honestly couldn't care less. But his name, I just know he's the fried chicken dinner. I'll be eating. I'm glad to be eating that after we're done with his missions.
Yes.
Mason, his existence is literally a pun on General Tsao's chicken.
Yeah, I am aware.
Motherfucker, he crashed into me!
Eyes to the sky, peeps. The semi-final round between Team Iceland, Team
Oh, here we go again.
and Team Belgium is now underway.
This wouldn't be as hard if Team... I don't know which team it is, was better at flying, because I am literally losing, because they crash into me.
I think that's still Team Iceland. Because you're shooting down Belgium, and I'm pretty sure that's Team Iceland that's flying alongside you there.
So yeah, Team Iceland is literally crashing into me, that's why I keep losing this.
They really need to get better pilots.
Things are looking hot.
So yeah, General Tsao would be next, Justin. Your opinions on that one? Since Mason's opinions are very obvious. As he has replaced Neela as I don't give a fuck what his name is, get him off the screen.
Team Belgium
Oh, they're very much neck and neck in this
That's
case.
fair, that's fair. Sao... Honestly finding it a little hard to find the words I want to use to describe Sao. I don't have the same level of hatred for him that Mason does. Did I find him a little annoying? Yes. But that's mostly just because I've always kind of had that irritation when it comes to characters who are, like, stupidly arrogant. Like those characters where you can clearly beat the ever-loving hell out of them, and their response to that is to turn around and go, okay, yeah, well, I was holding back, you're not going to win now. And then you win again, and they're like, okay, well, I'm still better. It's like, no, the fuck, you're not. Reality. At some point, you got to face reality, my dude. And then, you know, his genuine belief that despite getting the ever-loving hell kicked out of him, that the Cooper gang would just up and leave without accomplishing their own objectives.
Leader's like, oh, you stole my treasure? That's fine. I still have what I want, so clearly I win, right?
Buy now and save 10% on cost.
Now, to be fair, he also duped Carmelita with that one, who looked a little too excited at the prospect of handcuffing Sly at a wedding altar. I just want to say that.
I have a feeling she should have handcuffed him to her just to continue the wedding and then drag him to the nearest jail cell.
Well, no, because if that would have been the case, she would have done it immediately, because she was under the impression that Sly was going to be impersonating someone. Because there was that brief moment of jealousy that you get with her, where she starts complaining about what the veiled bride must look like because there's no comparison. Which I guess was a little insight into how Carmelita actually feels, but... yeah, no, I just wanted to point that out.
Finally!
She seemed way too excited at that prospect before getting upset, confused and irritated that it was actually Sal.
Alright, so...
Hey, start challenge in 3D.
That's actually all the time we have for this episode. We have a couple minutes if you want to discuss like something real quick, but beyond that...
Okay.
No? Okay.
All in all, I feel like they could have ended the series here, and it would have been just fine.
Like, I would have been fine with the series ending here as well, especially with what we got for the fourth game, which I'll say now was not made by Sucker Punch.
Oh. Yeah, that could have been a problem.
But I will say this: the company that makes Sly Cooper Thieves in Time does make Sly wear pants.
Wow. That's a first.
But we will see you all in the next episode,
See you all then.
where I
When we
continue with the
appear-
challenges.
As I say, apparently when we continue to eat people with a wolf.